Yes, friends. Welcome to our today's session on auditing and assurance services. We'll be starting the topic now, but first we need to understand what is audit and what is assurance services. In due course, we'll be learning the technical meaning of audit and the technical meaning of assurance. Right now, at a very, you can say, surface level, let us understand the difference between auditing and assurance. As you can see the slide, when it refer to the audit, or let me ask you first of all, right now, you must have seen some audit report, or you might be having some idea about audit report. Is it that? Have you ever seen some audit report? Please reply whether you have seen some kind of audit report.
No, sir, not yet.
Oh, you haven't seen any audit report. Okay. Okay, I'll be showing you something. Are you able to read it? What is written here? Can some of you read it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Financial statements, it called Ferrochrome Alloys Limited.
Okay, you see one example of an audited financial statement. Okay, that means the financial statements are audited. So in fact, this booklet contains financial statement of a particular company. And when you say audited, that means audit report should be there in this booklet. Okay, let me show you another annual report of a company. Just give me a moment. Yeah, I'm showing you some other thing. Can you read it? This is another booklet I'm showing you.
Yes, sir. Annual report.
Annual report of
I'm not able to read that. Odisha Forest Development Corporation Limited.
Okay, so you see, this is another annual report. It's a booklet. You see, this contains auditors. It contains audited financial statement, auditors report, directors report, and many other things. This is called as annual report. And listed companies' annual reports are available in their website. If you can download, you can read their annual report. You can try doing that. And if you download that annual report, you can find out that report contains something called as auditors report. Okay, here in this particular company, I'm showing you an audit report. Just have a look. I will be showing you the hard copy also. Other copy also. Can you read it? Auditor's report.
BAPS and Associate.
Yeah. Now below that, you see.
Sir, cannot read, sir.
Well, I'm showing you this audit report first. Some audit report I will be sharing with you. Let us first understand audit report. Then we'll try to define what is audit report. Okay. Just give me a moment again. I'll be sharing with you some screen. What you are seeing on the screen? Are you seeing
Able
an?
to see the sir, your docs, but not the word page. Sir.
Okay, you are not seeing the word page. Just a minute. Are you able to see it now?
Yes, sir, able to
Yeah,
see it.
you see, just I wanted to give you some idea about audit report. Companies' annual audit reports carry this audit report. You see, there is a title to the audit report. You see, it is written independent auditor's report. This gives a message that auditor is independent. That means auditor is not an employee of the company. Auditor doesn't have any vested interest in the company's affairs. Okay, therefore we write it independent auditor's report. What is independence? We'll be learning in our learning process, right? And you see, this is addressed to the members. That means auditor reports are addressed to the members. Okay, we'll be again learning what is the structure of the audit report, members of a company, right? So first it talks about the auditor's opinion. Different kinds of opinions are there. Here you see what kind of opinion it is. Can you read it?
Qualified opinion.
Qualified opinion. At this stage, you may not be able to understand what is qualified opinion. I'll be explaining you that thing later stage. Okay, here we'll understand that auditor report contains an opinion. And we'll be also understanding this opinion is about the financial statements. So auditor gives an opinion about the financial statement. Then auditor tries to justify why he has given that opinion or what is the basis for his opinion. That also written here. Why he has qualified his opinion, that is also explained in the auditor's report. Okay. Audit report may contain a paragraph called as a key audit matters. We'll be understanding what are these key audit matters, or that is also referred to as KAM. Okay, key audit matters. I'll be explaining you at appropriate time what is key audit matters. In this company, there are some key audit matters and how these matters are addressed by the auditor. How in that matter is addressed, that also explained in the audit report. Okay. Audit report may contain a paragraph called as EOM, that is emphasis of matter paragraph. That means auditor want to emphasize upon certain thing. So that is called as EOM paragraph. This company audit report contains EOM paragraph. Okay. Then audit report may contain information other than financial statement and auditor's report. There are some additional things may be reported. Responsibility to the management and those charged with governance for the financial statements. Who are these people who are charged with governance? I'll be telling you their responsibility, and the management's responsibility will be explained in the audit report itself. Auditor's responsibility, that is also explained in the audit report. Okay, audit report may contain a paragraph regarding other matters. Here they have included a paragraph on internal audit, a paragraph regarding COVID-19 impact on audit. So like this, certain other matters may be included in the auditor's report. It may contain a paragraph report on legal and regulatory requirements. Okay, so here some other report is attached to this report, or some other report is annexed to this report. Report on legal and regulatory requirements. Okay, then this is a government company, therefore Comptroller and Auditor General has given a direction to cover some additional things also in the audit. So that is contained in the annex, another annexure, annexure B. That is one more report that is also referred to in the main audit report. Okay, like this is how auditor's report looks like. Okay, this is auditor's report. Then annexures, you see some annexures are there, annexure to the independent auditor's report. This is regarding that Caro report, which I told you about property, plant and equipment. Certain paragraphs are written in respect of inventory, in respect of loans, like this. This is Caro report, all these things are there. Okay. This is how audit report looks like. Then annexure B talks about as per direction of C&AG, certain things are covered. That is annexure B. And annexure C is about report on internal financial controls. We'll be understanding what is this internal financial controls, and one report will be, that report also forms a part of audit report. Okay, the purpose of showing you this thing is that we should have a basic idea that how audit report looks like. I think you got a fair idea now how audit report looks like. Is it not? We'll be again seeing it. Frequently we'll be referring to various audit reports. But right now you got a fair idea that this is how audit report is prepared. This is how it looks like. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I'm taking you back to those PPT file. Yeah. Now, once you know that audit report is prepared like this, now you must have understood that this audit report, in audit report, auditor expresses an opinion on the financial statement, is it not? So therefore, what auditor does, auditor evaluates the financial statement. Auditor sees that what the financial statement is showing true and fair view or not. Therefore, auditing is a process of evaluation of financial statement. And audit is intended to express an opinion. You have seen the first paragraph is what? Opinion. Is it not? Yes or no? First
Yes.
paragraph you have seen audit opinion. So in an audit situation, objective of auditor is to give an opinion. And for that purpose, he has to evaluate the financial statement because he is giving opinion on the financial statement. So auditing, loosely speaking, auditing involves a process of evaluating the financial statement with an intention to express an opinion on those statements. Okay, that is auditing, we'll say. Then what is assurance? Loosely, we will be covering what is assurance, or loosely we'll trying to define what is assurance, because technical definitions we'll be learning later on. Assurance is the process of analyzing. Okay, through this analyzing process, through this kind of analysis, auditor will try to give some kind of assurance to the users. Okay, it is used in the assessment of accounting entries and financial records, whether these financial records, accounting entries are correctly made or not. If you want to get an assurance, then a specific assurance assignment can be taken up. It involves verifying of the records, which are required to be maintained according to accounting standard and according to other laws. These records needs to be verified. Okay, and through this verification process, an opinion can be formed whether these financial entries are accurate or not, whether they're correct or not. Okay, so at this stage, what we'll understand, auditing is an evaluation process. Financial statements are evaluated, whereas assurance is an analysis, is a process involving analysis of accounting entries and financial records. Okay, no doubt, audit also gives us a level of assurance. Is it not? When you refer to an audited report or audited financial statement, you get a kind of assurance that the more or less the financial statement shows a kind of true and fair view. Right. So this is the basic difference between audit and assurance. This thing we have to keep it in mind. Now, friends, let us learn some of the requirements that why audit is essential. What is the legal requirement of the audit? I'll be taking you some limited sections of various acts. First, I'm taking you to section 143(2) of Companies Act 2013. Right? Before that, did you understand what is audit and what is assurance?
Yes, sir.
Right. Fine. Now we are going to read a particular section 143(2) of Companies Act 2013. If you read this section, what this subsection 2 says, auditors shall make a report to the members of the company. You have already seen an audit report. It is addressed to the members of the company or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Auditors shall make a report to the members of the company on the accounts examined by him. That means auditor needs to examine the accounts and on which he has to make a report. Accounts examined by him and on every financial statement which are required by or under this act to be laid before the company in general meeting. So every financial statement which is required to be laid before general meeting needs to be audited. Okay, and the report shall, after taking into account the provisions of this act, the accounting and auditing standards, and the matters which are required to be included in the audit report under the provisions of this act or any other rules made thereunder or under any order made under subsection 11, and to the best of his information and knowledge, the said accounts financial statement give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the company, right, as at the end of the financial year or profit and loss and cash flow for the year and such other matters as may be prescribed. Okay, this is the exact verbatim representation of that particular section. Exactly, this has been written. key matter we have to understand here is that auditor has to make a report keeping in mind the provisions of this act. That means what is required under this act. Let us say act requires that financial statement has to be prepared in a particular format. Right? Some of you might be knowing the Schedule 3 format. Is it not? What is format of balance sheet, format of statement of profit and loss, you might be knowing. And other provisions. Suppose act requires that these things has to be happened like this. So auditor has to keep in the mind the provisions of the act and accounting standards. Accounting standards also recommends or suggests accounting treatment, how a particular item can be presented, how it can be disclosed, that maintain the accounting standards. Auditing standards also prescribes how things are to be audited, how transactions need to be audited, what are the care, what's the minimum care, reasonable care auditor has to take. So auditor has to keep in mind the provisions of this act, provisions of accounting standard, and the provisions of auditing standards, right? And if some other matters which are required to be included in the audit report, that also has to be taken care of. Therefore, you have seen in the audit report, so many things are covered, right? In addition to normal requirement, CARO report is enclosed as of direction of C&AG. As per C&AG direction, additional report is also given. Okay, so on the basis of all these things, or keeping in mind the requirements of accounting standard, requirements of auditing standard, requirements of the law, auditor has to express an opinion whether the financial statement gives a true and fair view or not. Okay, did you understand? This is the requirement of Companies Act. A Companies Act is applicable to company. Right. So every company has to get its accounts audited because this is a requirement of section 143(2). Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, similarly, there are also provisions under Income Tax Act. In certain situation, books of account needs to be audited. Right. You must have studied income tax. And here you see, if you refer to section 44AB of the Income Tax Act, here it suggests if the business receipts exceeds 1 crore or professional receipts exceeds 50 lakh or assessee is paying tax on presumptive basis and his income, his declared income is less than the presumptive income. Okay, these are the cases where tax audit is required or audit is required under section 44AB. And mind you, these are not the only thing. There are other situations also where tax audit is required, but this is the main provision. You can say main section which talks about in this situation, one has to get his account audited under Income Tax Act. But that auditing is different than companies audit. Okay, this is one more requirement. Similarly, audit is also required under GST law. GST law has defined audit like this. Okay, this is the definition of the audit under GST Act. We need not remember the definition, but we have to understand one more thing under GST law also. If your gross receipt exceeds 2 crore, one need to get his account audited. That is called, popularly we call it as GST audit. Okay, and here audit means examination of the records, returns, and other documents maintained or furnished by the registered person under this act or rule. Some of you might have already learned GST law. You know who is a registered person and he has to maintain certain records. These records needs to be audited. Okay, as I told you, only when the value of the supply exceeds rupees 2 crore. That you have to remember. So like this, different law suggests different kind of audits. So three kinds of audits we have covered here. One is audit under Companies Act, audit under Income Tax Act, and audit under GST. Okay, is it clear? Up to this, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now you see, company needs to maintain books of account. Is it not? And one have to accept one thing, or you have to understand the importance of audit with reference to Indian Evidence Act 1872. Right, audit is definitely important. First of all, law suggests, three laws we have already seen, three kinds of acts have at different situations have suggested that in this situation you have to get your accounts audited. In addition to that, you have to remember, or we have to understand the audit with, understand the importance of the audit with the help of Indian Evidence Act also, right? According to Indian Evidence Act, the entries of the books of account alone should not be treated as a sufficient evidence to charge a person with liability. For, let us say, to understand this thing, let me explain you one thing. Only entries are made that this much is payable by this person. Okay, I'm showing a person as my debtor, but the entries will not be sufficient. So only books of entries will not be accepted unless they are audited. Okay, if books of accounts are audited, the court of law may accept that audited books of account as an evidence. Otherwise, it will not be accepted. So that is one more important. That is one more reason which shows that why auditing is important. Okay, I think now you have understood why auditing is important and what are the legal requirements of the audit. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, friends, let us quickly understand the meaning of audit. Still now, we have not come to the definition of the audit. We are trying to understand the meaning. And we already know it is an evaluation process. Okay. Coming to meaning of the audit, we can understand it like this. Audit is an evaluation of a person or organization or system or process or enterprise or project or product, maybe anything. So audit is an evaluation of anything. Person means a particular person can be audited. That means you can be audited, I can be audited, our financial affairs can be audited. Okay, as a proprietor, if you are doing some business, we can be audited. Any organization can be audited, whether it's a company, it's a cooperative society, trust, anything. So any organization can be audited. It's a system. Okay, a part of the system also can be audited. Let us say purchase department can be audited. Okay, purchase process can be audited. Process can be audited. An enterprise can be audited. That is, an entity can be audited. A project can be audited. A product can also be audited. Okay, but most of the time, when you talk about audit, we refer to the accounting audit or financial audits. Okay, you might have had different other kinds of auditors. At this stage, can you tell me what are the various kinds of audits you have heard of? Can anyone tell me that these are the audits I have heard of? Give me some examples that these are the audits. Types of audit, let us say. Can you share with me various types of audit?
So there are external audits, internal audits.
Yeah, internal audit, external audit is one kind of classification of audit. Okay, then internal audit, external audit, then.
So then internal revenue service audits.
Sorry?
So there is internal revenue service audits, IRS audits. Sir.
Internal revenue service audit. Okay, okay, that is okay. Again, one kind of audit. Then who can tell me something? It can be any kind of audit, financial, non-financial. Well, have you heard of statutory audit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that is audit as per requirement of statute.
But I have heard about it.
Yeah, the three audits I showed you, like company audit, income tax audit, GST audit, they are statutory audits because they are required under statute. Law requires you to get your accounts audited, right? Internal audit, you have already pointed it out. That means managements voluntarily may get its account audited, right? That is internal audit. Then
audits are basically financial audits.
which one?
So the internal audits.
No, not necessarily financial. Not necessarily. The scope of internal audit depends upon the management. Management may decide that you can conduct an internal audit on HR. It may conduct an internal audit on purchases. It may conduct an internal audit on finance, or it may conduct an internal audit in all these departments. Okay, internal audit scope is decided by the management, so you cannot say that it is purely financial audit. No. I'll be showing you in due course, I'll be showing you some internal audit reports. You'll be able to understand how internal audits are made.
So then operational audits will be a part of internal audits then if
Not necessarily. Operational part is operational audit. You may call it as the internal audit because it is not done by, if it is not done by external people. Okay. Operational audit, as you say, operational audit is one kind of audit, right? So you must have heard something called as the cost audit. Have you heard of it?
No, sir.
Okay. Cost audit is also one kind of audit. When a particular product process is audited from cost accounting point of view, right? So that we can find out or we can reduce the cost, which may be useful for cost reduction or cost control. Cost audit is also relevant. Have you heard of something called as secretarial audit?
Sorry, sir, can you repeat?
Secretarial audit.
No, sir, these are new terms.
Okay, you see, cost audits are conducted by cost accountant. Similarly, secretarial audit are generally conducted by company secretaries. Okay, so this look at the secretarial aspects. So secretarial compliances, whether the company is complying all the legal requirements. From that angle, that audit is conducted. That is called a secretarial audit. Okay, have you heard of environment audit? You must have heard of. Is it not? Like this revenue audit, only revenue part, expenses audit, excise audit, like this, various kinds of audits are there. Okay, it is not necessary. It is not that it is audit is only limited to financial transaction. But in our course, what we will be discussing most of the time, it is about financial audit. And again, most of the time we'll be discussing about the statutory audit, that is legal audit. Internal audits will be covering. Internal audit is again a different kind of audit. Just like there are auditing standards, there are also separate standards for internal audit. They are called as internal audit standards. They are different. So internal audit we'll be discussing in some point of time, but most of the time we'll be discussing about statutory audit issues. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, so there can be project audit, quality audit, energy audit, like IT audit, so many kinds of audits are there. It depends what kind of audit you are talking about. Okay. And we believe that this word auditing has been derived from a Latin word which means audire. Audire means to listen. Okay. From the word audire, Latin word audire, the auditing concept has been developed, or auditing word has been developed. Why it is audire? Because it is believed in those days what happened, public money was dealt by some people, and people used to come to a common place, come to gather in some place, and the person who was managing the public money, he has to announce, he has make an announcement that this is the revenue he has received, this was the money he has spent. Okay, he'll give an account of all these things and people will be listening. Everybody will be present in that area, he'll be listening. That and this listening process is called as audire or audit. That is the history of audit, you can say. Okay. And if you refer to the history of audit in India, the concept of audit was also referred in Chanakya's Arthashastra. He has also highlighted some issues or some important concepts of audit are also covered in Arthashastra. Okay, which are some important concepts. Let me give you some basic idea about the history. In Arthashastra, it has been recognized that there is a possibility of conflict of interest between finance and auditing firms. And in modern audit also, we recognize there is a possibility of conflict. Therefore, we believe in segregation of duty. That means person who is recording the transaction, he himself should not audit. Okay, duty needs to be segregated. Right, responsibility needs to be divided, otherwise there will be conflict, the conflict of interest. So finance function and auditing function should be different. And also, Arthashastra has suggested the head of finance and head of audit should independently and separately report to the king. So there should be clear demarcation, separation of duties. And also it recognizes there is a possibility of collusion between these two. If these two people join hands, so there is a possibility of fraud. That also one should recognize. In India, what happens in our government system, that Comptroller and Auditor General, that is C and AG, is the auditor, and Ministry of Finance is the custodian of the resources, but both of them are independent. Okay, so this is how historically we are already used to the concept of auditing. Okay, right, got some brief idea about these concepts. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, we got.
Now you have some idea about this auditing. Now what we'll do after that, we are coming to this part, the meaning and definition and nature of auditing we'll be covering now. We'll take a break right now. After 15 minutes again, we'll be joining to learn this concept, meaning, definition and nature of auditing. Okay, fine. So we'll stop here. We'll again catch up after 15 minutes.
Sir, we are muting ourselves because it's the same link, sir.